You're watching Nightline and I'm Adrian Seet. News making the headlines. Goldman Sachs suit. Premature, says Johari. And MACC uncovers misappropriation of subsidies for paddy farmers. Thanks for joining us. 1MDB Task Force Chairman Datuk Sri Johari Abdul Ghani has labelled Goldman Sachs' action as premature and was done without due consideration of the necessary prerequisites. This in regard to the decision to pursue an arbitration against the Malaysian government over the 1MDB settlement entered 3 years ago. In a statement, he said the Malaysian government will be preparing to respond to the matter and will ensure that this process is done diligently, as well as in accordance with the established legal framework, while also ensuring that the interests of the Malaysian people are safeguarded. On Wednesday, Reuters reported that the investment bank had taken an unusual step of commencing arbitration proceedings at a UK court. This amid festering disagreement over a settlement tied to its role in the 1MDB scandal. Datuk Sri Johari, however, denounced Goldman's move as an attempt to detract and divert attention away from its obligation to make an interim payment of $250 million to Malaysia under the settlement agreement. Malaysia's request for the repatriation of the misappropriated One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB assets worth $93.2 million linked to former 1MDB lawyer Jasmine Lu Ai Swan has received a positive response from the authorities in Singapore and the United States. Bukit Aman Commercial Crime Investigation Department JSJK Director Datuk Sri Ramli Muhammad Yusof said the police were optimistic that the assets could be returned to the country.
Setakat ini kita sedang menunggu, telah pun menulis kepada otoritis yang berkenaan di Amerika Syarikat, di Singapura dan sebagainya. Kita menunggu jawapan daripada mereka.
Ramli said this at a media conference after the launch of the JSJK Anti-Scam Kapchai Ride at the Kuala Lumpur Police Training Centre on Thursday. He also said that the request to bring back the 1MDB assets also came from Lu herself. Lu, the former 1MDB Group Strategic Executive Director, who is said to be a close associate of fugitive Joe Low, was arrested on July 7th to assist in the investigation of the company's misappropriation of funds. The Transport Ministry revealed that it was caught by surprise by the suspension of low-cost carrier My Airline Syndrome Berhad on Thursday morning. Its Minister Anthony Loke Siu Fook said his ministry only got to know about the news late on Wednesday night, adding that the matter also did not go through the approval of the Malaysian Aviation Commission or MACC.
We were caught by surprise. Kita hanya mengetahui penggantungan ini lewat malam semalam. Sebelum larut malam baru kita tahu by 6 AM this morning they suspended all the operations. Jadi pihak MACC pun totally caught by surprise. They did not even inform officially to MACC.
Loke said the suspension had also affected 125,000 passengers, with tickets being sold up until March 2024. He also said that his ministry, through MACC, will make sure that My Airline is held accountable for the irresponsible action. According to Loke, the sudden suspension had also led to a ringgit 20 million loss to the passengers and urged the low-cost carrier to refund the affected passengers immediately. He added that his ministry alongside MACC is looking into ways to refund the tickets by cooperating with Bank Negara Malaysia by establishing a task force to resolve the matter. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC raided 5 rice mills in Kedah, believed to have been involved in the corruption of subsidies. The raid is a follow-up to the agency's focus on an investigation related to the misappropriation of subsidies provided to farmers who sell local rice to licensed mills. According to sources, the modus operandi used by the syndicate was to forge purchases of paddy at the mills. The source said irregularities in subsidy claims were suspected to occur when the total weight of rice sold at the mill was not the same as the subsidy value paid to farmers. The receipts for the purchase of rice and the total weight of rice were suspected to have been deliberately forged by multiplying the total weight of rice sold. The source added that the amount of subsidy allocated by the government was as much as 600 million ringgit per year, but it was still too early to formulate the actual amount of subsidy leakage that occurred. The source also revealed that there were irregularities committed by manufacturers who mixed local rice with imported rice and sold it at the price of imported rice. The source said that one of the other factors causing the lack of local rice was the attitude of manufacturers who stored and hid the local rice, supposedly waiting for price adjustments by the government. Meanwhile, MACC Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki, when contacted, confirmed the action taken by MACC regarding the matter. He said the case was being investigated under Section 18 of the MACC Act 2009. MACC, he added, will look at two aspects, including criminal offences and aspects of governance in the distribution of subsidies. Meanwhile, Tan Sri Azam, when met, did not rule out the possibility that there were other rice mills that will be inspected by his team in the near future.
Pada semalam satu buah kilang dan pada hari ini dua buah kilang setakat ini, dan saya tidak menolak akan ada lagi kilang-kilang lain juga akan dibuat pemeriksaan oleh SPRM bagi melihat kepada subsidi-subsidi yang dibayar kerana disyaki subsidi-subsidi yang telah dikeluarkan oleh kerajaan tidak commensurate dengan pengeluaran padi yang telah diedarkan kepada orang ramai.
Azam said the MACC was not looking at issues of hoarding rice, but rather at the issue of subsidy that potentially has elements of corruption. He added MACC also does not target any politician or any state government in the issue, and all inspections were done professionally.
Kita mahu Malaysia ini dikenali sebagai negara madani yang mampu diangkat martabat rakyat dan negaranya.
Laksana reformasi fiskal.
Perkasa keterjaminan makanan.
Teliti dasar gaji progresif.
Seragam subsidi bersasar. Program khas Belanjawan 2024.
Jumaat 13 Oktober hanya di TV3.
Dan stream HD secara langsung ditonton.
Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim on Thursday expressed the highest appreciation for the sacrifices made by the Treasury team, who he described as extraordinary and dedicated in preparing the 2024 budget as well as the economic report and fiscal outlook. Anwar, who is also the Finance Minister, said this after checking out the final 2024 budget preparation at the Finance Ministry MOF in Putrajaya. He arrived at the MOF at 12:50 p.m. and was welcomed by Chief Secretary to the Government, Tan Sri Muhammad Zuki Ali, as well as the two Deputy Finance Ministers, Datuk Sri Ahmad Maslan and Stephen Sim Chi Keong. Also present was Treasury Secretary General Datuk Johan Mahmud Merakan. Anwar also posed for a group photo with the MOF personnel involved in the 2024 budget preparations before signing the top secret document that will be tabled in Parliament on Friday. The Foreign Ministry is in the process of evacuating Malaysians in the West Bank in view of the current clashes involving Hamas and the Israeli regime. At the moment, the ministry said 5 Malaysians are in the West Bank, comprising a woman and a mother with her 3 children. Foreign Minister Dato Sri Dr. Zamri Abdul Kadir said the woman identified as Dr. Nurul Ain Latif from Kota Baru, Kelantan is married to a Palestinian from the West Bank.
Keadaan mereka berada di tempat yang selamat, dan kita juga sedang berusaha untuk melakukan proses evakuasi untuk Dr. Nurul Ain ini, dan sehingga kini kita mendapat kerjasama daripada kedutaan Filipina untuk mengeluarkan keluarga ini bersama dengan 8 warga Indonesia yang berada di kawasan yang tersebut.
Zamri was speaking in the Dewan Rakyat during the minister's question time on Thursday. Zamri was responding to a supplementary question from Bakri MP Tan Hong Pin, who wanted to know of the government's assistance in ensuring the safety of Malaysians, especially those in the West Bank following the current clashes in Palestine. Meanwhile, Zamri said the Malaysian government is providing an initial contribution of 1 million ringgit from the Humanitarian Trust Fund for the People of Palestine to ease the burden of the Palestinians affected by the conflict. The aid was handed over to the Palestinian ambassador in Malaysia, Walid Abu Ali, at the Parliament lobby on Thursday. Gaza is witnessing non-stop bombings from all directions by sea, air and land, from the north to the south. With at least 400,000 people displaced in Gaza, hospitals are getting overwhelmed by the sheer number of wounded patients as a result of the deadly operations launched by the Zionist regime. As Israeli intensifies the aerial bombardment of Gaza, the death toll at one of the most densely populated places on the planet has so far reached at least 1,417 Palestinians, while more than 6,200 others were wounded. The health ministry in Gaza has also issued its latest update, warning that the healthcare system has begun to truly collapse. It said that there were no other intensive care beds available and the number of wounded people exceeded the capacity of operation rooms. Although right groups are calling for the establishment of humanitarian corridors, the enclave remains under total siege, with Gaza's residential buildings, schools, refugee camps, hospitals and ambulances not spared in the onslaught. Armenia and Azerbaijan take their dispute to the World Court. The details when we return. The President's vast volunteer network on Thursday indicated that it will endorse retired military general Prabowo Subianto in the February 2024 election, in the strongest signal that the nation's leader is backing his former rival. All regional branches of the influential network, Prao, that is seen as a proxy for President Joko Widodo, have proposed Prabowo as their candidate. Prao network that helped propel Jokowi to victory against Prabowo in the 2014 and 2019 elections said it will announce its final decision at its national meeting this Saturday. Jokowi is expected to give the opening speech at the meeting, and his instructions will guide which candidate Prao supports. The hinted endorsement from Prao came amid heated speculation in the world's third largest democracy over who Jokowi will back as his successor when he steps down next year. Rivals Armenia and Azerbaijan on Thursday clashed at United Nations top court, with Yerevan asking judges to force Baku to withdraw troops from Nagorno-Karabakh and allow the displaced ethnic Armenians to return safely to the breakaway region. Armenia has also called on the International Court of Justice, ICJ, to ensure that Azerbaijan refrain from taking any action, including displacing the remaining ethnic Armenians, as well as preventing the safe and expeditious return of refugees. The ICJ rules on disputes between the states, but while its decisions are legally binding, it has no power to enforce them. The hearings at the ICJ came only weeks after Azerbaijan's lightning offensive to take control of the disputed area of Nagorno-Karabakh for the first time in 3 decades. The one-day operation sparked a mass exodus of ethnic Armenians, with the vast majority of the estimated 120,000 who had been living in the territory fleeing into Armenia. On September 28th, the separatist Karabakh authorities had announced that the self-proclaimed republic will be dissolved on January the 1st, 2024. Soil after upsetting the third-seeded Maria Sakkari of Greece. Take a look. The 21-year-old defeated the Greek in straight sets 7-6, 6-3 in 1 hour and 49 minutes. The victory was Zheng's 5th career win against a top 10 player and the first over Sakkari in 3 meetings. She will next face Ukraine's Annalina Kalinina for a place in the semi-finals. Joining her was Jasmine Paolini. Paolini booked her spot in the quarterfinals after defeating number 6 seed Caroline Garcia of France. Despite losing in the first set 3-6, the Italian fought back to seal a 6-4, 7-5 victory in the second and third set. With her win, the 27-year-old will play Laura Sigmund next. Turning to Moto GP, the Ducati satellite team on Thursday has officially announced that Marc Marquez will join Gresini Racing for the 2024 season. The announcement came days after Honda announced that the six-time world champion would be leaving the Japanese manufacturer at the end of the 2023 campaign. Honda and Marquez agreed to terminate their 4-year contract a year early, ending an 11-year association and clearing the way for the 30-year-old to switch to a Ducati machine, the dominant force in Moto GP over the last 2 seasons. The Spaniard, who joined the Repsol Honda team in 2013, won the last of his 6 championships in 2019, finishing 151 points clear of his nearest rival. He will join his 27-year-old brother Alex, who has impressed everyone since he made the switch from LCR Honda to Gresini ahead of the 2023 season. More to come. Malaysian amongst 4 arrested in Australia over 662 kilograms of meth. Now, they are not even teenagers yet, but 9 young Malaysians aged 12 and below are already representing the country in the game of chess on an international level. FMT's Terence Toh and Dinesh Kumar Maganathan reports.
9 young Malaysians, 7 girls and 2 boys, may not be teenagers yet, but they are already playing chess on an international level. Come October 14th, these budding talents will be flying off to Egypt to represent Malaysia at the World Cadet Chess Championships.
I actually feel very nervous, excited, and really looking forward to go to Egypt.
I've been training very hard and have attended some classes, like the national training.
The prestigious tournament is open to boys and girls under the ages of 8, 10 and 12 from all around the world. According to Malaysian Chess Federation Head of Delegates Nik Ahmad Faruqi, this is the biggest contingent Malaysia has ever sent to this event.
After my experience last year, kita tengok player walaupun young category, but they looks quite prepared lah, very well prepared.
According to Nik Ahmad, the players who come from all over Malaysia have been preparing for this event with their coaches. Their preparation includes chess puzzles, opening and game analysis, and active tournament participation. So, why do these young players enjoy playing chess so much?
I like playing chess because it's fun and I like when I win.
I think chess is gonna help me be famous in the future.
It's because I can get a bunch of experience and I get to have some medals, and my parents would like to be proud of me.
Because when I grow up, I'm gonna be a grandmaster.
The World Cadet Chess Championships will take place in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt from October 14th to 27th. Here's wishing Team Malaysia all the best. Dinesh Kumar Maganathan and Terence Stowe, FMT Lifestyle for Nightline.
Unlocking the potential of the 2024 budget. Strategic policies aimed at fostering growth and economic resilience. How will the Madani budget catalyze prosperity, fuel innovation, and provide a solid foundation for businesses and Malaysians? For key highlights of the budget, join us with economist Afzalizam Abdul Rashid this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3 and live HD stream on Tonton.
Nightline continues. A Malaysian man was amongst 4 people arrested in Australia after 662 kilograms of methamphetamine was found hidden inside a shipment of toilet paper rolls. Australian Border Force Police said that the shipment arrived in Melbourne via sea cargo from Malaysia on October the 4th. Following the discovery, authorities arrested 2 33-year-old Chinese nationals, a Malaysian national aged 34 and a Hong Kong national aged 32 on Wednesday night. 2 of the men were arrested as they separately attempted to board flights to leave Australia. It was reported that the drugs seized have a street value estimated at almost 1.7 billion ringgit. The men were all charged with 1 count of attempting to possess a commercial quantity of a border-controlled drug. The offence carries a maximum penalty of life imprisonment. The Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency MMEA has arrested 37 Vietnamese fishermen for fishing illegally off Mersing waters. MMEA Mersing Zone Maritime Commander Suhaizan Saidin said they were apprehended 15.1 nautical miles northeast of Pulau Au on Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Now, the fishermen aged between 18 and 66 years on board 3 fishing vessels were found to have encroached into the Malaysian territorial waters to conduct illegal fishing activities. Initial investigations on the fishermen found that they did not possess valid identification documents, and the fishing vessels also did not have documents issued by Malaysian authorities to carry out fishing activities within Malaysian waters. During the arrest, MMEA also seized 4,000 litres of diesel and 13,000 kilograms of catch valued at 2.5 million ringgit. The fishermen were brought to the Teluk Gading Maritime Post to assist with investigations under the Fisheries Act and the Immigration Act. It's a dirty job, but someone has to do it. For the Clang River, we have 2 interceptor vessels aiding in the cleanup. However, a more sustainable solution is essential. How can we achieve that? Danish, Raja Reza and Jason Desmond are on a quest to find the answers.
Over 86,000 metric tons. That's how much waste has been fished out of the Clang River since 2019. That's equivalent to 470 Boeing 747s or 3,500 Rapid KL buses. The 120-kilometer-long river winds through areas populated by more than 3 million people. And human activities have greatly contributed to the river's degradation, with many treating it as a dumping ground. But the Clang River has been given a second lease on life, thanks to 2 interceptors. These garbage collection vessels, deployed by Dutch NGO The Ocean Cleanup, have been cleaning up a 56-kilometer stretch of the Clang River. The 2 solar-powered interceptors are doing a fantastic job, but they cannot be seen as a long-term solution. Pollution must be stopped at the source.
We have to look into tackling the pollution source. We have to move from river to manage the tributaries. And from tributaries, we have to move to the main drain, the internal drainage system. From the main drain, we have to move into the surface. And from the surface, we have to move to the household, which is us.
Scheifel, whose company manages the interceptors, says not all household waste is recyclable.
It has to go through a prior process, which is we have to clean up with the plastic, the bottles and all that. It's very dirty, so it's not ready for recyclable.
While the interceptor cruises along one stretch of the Clang River, further upstream in Taman Melawati, a more hands-on approach is being undertaken. Kennedy Michael, an environmentalist, started the Alliance of River 3. Over the past 5 years, he has rallied 5,000 volunteers to clean up the river section in Taman Melawati's River 3 Park.
Nobody in their right minds would do this because we don't get paid. We've spent the last 270 weeks in a row, which means no holidays, no public holidays, no breaks, no excuses, rain, shine, whatever, which is our commitment.
And their effort has paid off. The section of the river has gone from a murky brown color to nearly clear since they began. And Clang River itself has gone from being ranked Class 5, where the water cannot be used at all, to Class 3, as it is now suitable for livestock consumption. However, to ensure long-term sustainability, holistic measures are needed.
In Europe, they have a river protocol. The authorities at each portion, they have to commit to certain KPIs. So, at the end of the day, we have the entire river clean at the same standard, at the same quality, because everybody is moving towards achieving the same target.
Danish Rajareza and Jason Desmond, FMT for Nightline.
We wrap up Nightline this time around. Let's take a look as the South Korea Zoo unveiled the names of their baby giant panda twins, Rui Bao and Hui Bao, ahead of their 100th day birthday. Now with that, I'm Adrian Seet. Thank you for watching and stay safe, Malaysia.